Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about a word that is, well, it's everywhere these days: blockchain. I know, it sounds super complex, maybe even a little intimidating, right? But it's actually a technology that could totally change how we do things in the digital world. So let's just dive right in and break it down. Okay, let's start with a really simple idea. Just picture a digital notebook, but this isn't any old notebook. It's one that nobody can erase, nobody can hack, and everybody can see. That single idea, that's really the key to understanding everything else we're about to cover. All right, so let's stick with that notebook idea for a little bit. We're going to unpack exactly what makes this thing so special, so unhackable. And we'll start with the most basic definition you can imagine. Yep, that's it. At its very, very core, a blockchain is just a digital record book. Like a spreadsheet or an old school paper ledger for keeping track of things. Simple enough, right? But, of course, there's a pretty big twist. And that, right there, is the million-dollar question. I mean, if it's just a record book, why is everyone so excited about it? What makes a blockchain so different from the databases and spreadsheets we've been using for, forever? Well, this is where it gets revolutionary. See, a blockchain has three superpowers. First, it's not kept in one single place like on a bank's private server. Instead, and this is superpower number two, it's shared. Copies of it exist on thousands of computers all at once. And third, and this is the really crucial part, it's permanent. Once you write something in this notebook, you can't go back and change it. It is written in digital stone. So when you combine those unique properties, you get something huge. You get a whole new way to think about trust. For basically all of human history, we've had to rely on central authorities, banks, governments, to keep our records safe. Blockchain, well, it suggests there might be another way. To really get this, let's use an example that we all know. You want to send some money to a friend. How does that usually work? And how could it work differently with this new technology? Okay, so the old way is centralized. You and your friend both have to put your trust in a bank to handle the money and keep an accurate record of it. But the new way, the blockchain way, is decentralized. There is no central bank. Instead, trust is literally built into the shared network itself. Because everyone can see the transaction happened, you don't need that middleman to tell you it's real. So how in the world does this decentralized network actually work? How does it build that unchangeable record book we've been talking about? Well, the clue is right there in the name. Blockchain. Let's break those two parts down. So first up, you've got the block. Just think of a block as a single page in our digital notebook. It's not just one transaction, though. It's a whole list of recent transactions that have been bundled together, all ready to be added to the official record. And then comes the chain. This is where the real magic happens. Each new block, or page, gets linked to the page before it using something called cryptography. You can think of it like a super strong mathematical glue. It creates a seal that's totally unique and connects it permanently to the previous one. This creates a chain of blocks, one after the other, that is incredibly secure and just about impossible to tamper with. To make this even clearer, let's try another analogy. If a block is like a page in a book, then the whole blockchain is kind of like a train. So here's how that train gets built. Imagine your transaction is a passenger. First, it gets grouped with a bunch of other passengers into a train coach. That's our block. Then that coach is shown to the entire network to make sure all the tickets are valid. Once thousands of computers all agree, yep, this looks good, that coach gets permanently attached to the train. And here's the thing. The train can only get longer. You can't just take a coach out of the metal. And this whole structure is what gives blockchain all its power. It's transparent, because anyone on the network can see the train. It's super secure, because to hack it, you'd have to change a coach and every single coach after it on thousands of computers all at the same time, which is nearly impossible. It's permanent, and it means you don't need a train conductor or a middleman to run the whole show. Now look, when most people hear the word blockchain, their brain immediately jumps to one thing: Bitcoin. But that's kind of like thinking the entire internet is only for sending emails. The technology itself has potential that goes way, way beyond digital money. The most important thing to remember here is that Bitcoin was just the very first big application of blockchain. It was the proof that it could work, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg. That underlying tech, that shared unhackable notebook, can be used for so much more. Let's look at some real-world stuff. Imagine your medical records, but you're the one in control, able to share them securely with any doctor. Or what about a voting system where every single vote is recorded transparently and can't be messed with? People are using it for things called smart contracts that automatically carry out agreements, and for proving you own digital things like art through NFTs. This tech is quietly changing everything from finance to healthcare.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. We've gone from a simple notebook to this whole system of blocks and chains and networks. But really, it all comes back to one big central idea. If you only take away one single thing from all this, please let it be this definition right here. It's a shared digital system that records information in a secure, transparent, and unchangeable way. That, in a nutshell, is blockchain.
And that really leads us to the final thought. This isn't just some technical upgrade, it's a social one. It's a tool that lets us work together and make deals in a way where we don't have to trust a single company or institution. Instead, we can put our trust in a transparent, shared system. So yeah, it's not just a new kind of database, it's a whole new foundation for digital trust.